The Chicago Cubs have now lost 5 games this month after holding a lead in the 8th inning or later. That is tied for the most such games in 1 month in the last 50 years. We're Locked On Cubs.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Please support the show by following on your preferred audio platform, and you can watch, subscribe, and leave a comment on YouTube. Thanks so much for making us your first listen. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into discussion with you on all things Cubs. It's almost a struggle to get through those intro propers at this point. Well, one day after a devastating loss, how about another one? As the Cubs lose 6-5 in 10 innings in the ATL on Wednesday. The playoff picture is a mess right now. The Marlins split a doubleheader. The Reds lose. And the Cubs were in great shape to win another ball game as they led 3-1. Courtesy of a couple solo Jacksons from Talkman and Happ. But the Braves tied it with single runs in the 7th, 8th. Yan Gomes gave the Cubs the lead with an RBI single of the night, but the Braves tied it again. Cubs took the lead top 10, but Braves won it bottom 10. Sam, you can't make this up. There was moments today where there was hope, there was positivity, but another extremely disappointing result.
You know, to me, so I have two takes on the game. Number one, I think everybody knows at this point how I feel about David Ross. And I don't think I'll just say it if you don't, because we have a lot of new listeners.
Right.
I don't think he's a very good manager, and I don't think he's a manager of a World Series winning team. However, David Ross is going to keep his job because the blame and the rightful blame to this season is going to go to what happened to this back end of this bullpen. Why did they get so tired down the stretch? A ton of teams have played close games and have been in pennant races for a long time. And B, all the injuries that took place, Matt. Because one thing that I don't think people realize is, yes, the Bellinger resurgence was great. But really what was winning this team games in July and August was Mark Leiter Jr., Julian Merriweather, and Adbert Alzolay. 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. They were on a run where they were winning one-run game after one-run game after one-run game. And since that happened, Mark Leiter Jr.'s forgotten how to pitch / gotten very fatigued. And then Adbert Alzolay was getting very fatigued, was losing his stuff, and then they had to put him on the IL. And it's left Merriweather alone on an island, and nobody has been able to step up. That is the problem. The bullpen is, you know, for lack of a better term, the bullpen is dead. Like they are gone. They are fried. It's trying to get innings from Smiley and Kwas. The two guys that were on the mound with the season on the line back-to-back nights were 5th starter Drew Smiley and 4A pitcher Daniel Palencia. That is to me where this season has gone. And it stinks because I don't think it should keep David Ross's job, because I think one of the reasons those guys are so tired is that David Ross mismanaged his team all season. But at the end of the day, the Cubs had a great stretch when they were playing well, where they knew who their guys were. So Jed Hoyer is going to have to figure out two things, and he mentioned it in his piece with Megan Montemurro today about, I got to do a better job figuring out how to create sustainability and volume so these guys can last. I also would argue you got to try and figure out who your late inning guys are before July.
Totally.
You know, so you could actually win some of these stretches. Because, like, yes, the offense today let the team down. And in the 9th inning, after Yan Gomes got that hit, Miles Mastrobuoni struck out on 3 pitches. And the minute that happened, I texted Nick. I said, ball game. I go, that's it. Can't happen. You needed to add on one more run. But at the end of the day, and you've tweeted this out, Matt, this is one of the best Cubs offenses in the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Yeah.
Like, you can't – how many times could you ask them? They scored 6 yesterday. I get it. They didn't score enough today. Tyone was terrific. This bullpen is cashed out. And that's going to be the easy thing to say. That's why it didn't happen. But my question is why are they so cashed out?
It's a good question.
Everybody's got a forearm strain. I mean, I almost want to call off work tomorrow and just say, hey, boss, forearm strain. Fulmer, forearm strain. Boxberger, forearm strain. Alzolay, I don't even know what's wrong with him. They're all cast out. And I thought Ross, as usual, I couldn't believe he went to Leiter there in the 9th after everything Leiter's been going through. I believe he's been battling a forearm. And I thought Merriweather should have just come out for the 9th, and I tweeted that out before it happened.
Of course he should have.
I thought he had a great
basic.
8th inning. I thought he had a good 8th inning. And
it's basic decision-making.
And last thing, and I'll pass it over to you, Candelario. I don't know anyone that watches the movie Major League, Dorn, the third baseman, who's afraid to dive. Candelario should be ashamed of himself for that effort.
Wow.
You got to keep that ball in front of you, and Ross continues to not play first, care about who plays first base. So
I am a little conflicted with Candelario, Leiter, Alzolay if he comes back this weekend. On one hand, you want to say, hey, if you're here, you need to step up. The other is, well, they haven't played in weeks. But to the latter point, well, then why are they in pivotal spots? Why? Why couldn't Merriweather pitch 6 outs? Why? And the depth of the bullpen is major. Salute. Jed talked to Megan about it in the Trib. Jed was on The Score earlier Wednesday and talked about it. The bullpen depth is near atrocious levels. There was no sustainability. They hit a massive wall. And then when they try to fill these holes, they need a surgeon. And they hired a mechanic.
Yeah. Right.
How does that happen?
Right. Yeah, it's a good way of putting
Palencia?
it. Yeah, right.
In the 10th against the best team in baseball?
So I didn't even watch 1 second of the 10th inning. I was watching the Mets Marlins because I thought that was our best chance.
I watched a lot of that game too.
And I
watched both at the same time.
And that summarized that 30-minute span summarized the season. One team found a way to lose a close game, the other found a way to win a close game, and that's why the Marlins, even though they're now 100 and it went up because they got blown out today, even though they're about 160 runs worse than the Cubs, will be playing playoff baseball, and the Cubs will be watching from home. It's so disappointing, but this game last night was really rough. There's not 1 second in this game. The only time I thought they were going to win this game was when Mastro came up, runners on the corners, 1 out. And the minute he struck out, that was it. It's just not it, man. And listening to Boog and JD call it just makes it even worse. I mean, you could almost hear the excitement in Boog's voice.
Well, I didn't really catch much of theirs. I had the radio, I had the Mets Marlins on the audio feed.
Brian Gaudin does a great job for Atlanta. Great hire.
Yeah. I if yesterday was a heartbreaker, I would say today was just frustrating.
Yeah, it's just I would say my word would be inevitable.
See, I had many editions of our show. I had a different thumbnail. I had a different outline. I had a different title. Yeah. I wasn't there really until the 10th. I gotta be straight up. I thought that I thought it wasn't over.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not saying I thought it just this is what it is. I'm Matt, just because I'm just gonna do what I want today because this show is I'm just not. So I'm gonna start calling out some people. Swanson gave up the Braves for this. Well, for this, he got $177 million and he hasn't had a big hit in 2.5 months. Let's not feel sorry for Dansby Swanson, Carlos. I hate that narrative. Good grief.
You would like to put up.
Like I'm going to go to sleep tonight and say, poor Dansby Swanson. Give me a break. Give me a break. How about get a big hit? How about if he got one big hit in Arizona, we wouldn't be in this spot? Good Lord.
Well, and we're going to be doing that episode Monday or Tuesday about all the games.
Good grief.
I think it's about 8 games.
Oh, poor Dansby on his new mansion, 177 M's. He hasn't gotten a big hit since George H.W. Bush was president of these United States. The team was fried.
Yeah, but the Marlins, even as fish, aren't fried. The Reds aren't fried.
I don't get it. No, that's
the Reds had a massive, not massive, but they had a clear descension, and they are still in it somehow without a starting rotation.
No, it's
talk about finishing a game. How about opening a game?
I don't understand you. The question that needs to be answered in the offseason, I'll go there. Mr. Hoyer.
Oh, not another press conference.
This is Sam Olber from Locked On Cubs. We have a huge following.
Not another press conference.
I understand why the Cubs blew it this year, but I'd like to follow up. Why is the entire team and the bullpen so tired? And please don't say because they play a lot of close games for a month. That's baseball. I'll hang up and listen, Mr. Hoyer. Thank you. That's all I want to know. Why? And second follow-up, can we get some sort of forearm specialist with this ball club? Because every pitcher,
physical therapy or something.
Every pitcher that pitches has a forearm strain.
Well, the truth is they did play a lot of one-run games, and maybe that's when, Sam, you could tie it back to the offense because Jed said, hey, we got to blow teams out.
But they've blown out. They score 20 runs all the time.
I mean, they've done it. Yeah, they do it occasionally. This is going to have to be a short show. I'm losing it.
No. The term perfect storm gets used a lot, and it's overused.
But I think it's storming a lot in the suburbs lately.
I think it's appropriate. This has just been a perfect storm. Poor play, collapse, injuries,
a ton of mistakes,
bad managing, mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just been a perfect storm of how you blow
since September 7th.
Yes, how basically you blow a 4-game lead. Yeah. And how you blow 5 baseball games that you had a lead going into the 8th in 1 month. It's almost impossible. And
in 3 weeks.
And I just want to say publicly, I am absolutely exhausted from this.
Yeah.
I am so ready for this to be over. I can't take it anymore.
It's not over yet.
I feel bad for my dad who's dealing with his hip stuff, who's got to watch this. I am sick over this. I want it to be, and I want to watch the Bears lose 35-10 at on the lakefront and just have a laugh.
With the Bears, bro.
Yeah. I can't. I feel bad for everybody. I feel this is torture.
Yeah, it is.
It's
and in part, as a diehard fan, you sign up for the fun and the torture, but the frequency of the torture is the problem.
No, it's
frequency.
Matt, this is too much torture.
And I'm not one to do this, but I will vividly remember my walk from my car this morning to the front door of the school, dude.
No,
I was devastated, and it was so poetic. Dark clouds, thunder, lightning, rain. I mean, that was it.
Yeah, and then
this is it. Yeah, this is what the end looks like, huh?
And then you come back and you say, oh well, Mets just gave you a break. Cubs are up 3-1. Marlins are losing. You and I had some funny calls about like Lindor's homers and stuff. It was kind of fun, and things were great. And then all of a sudden, it got and then it started getting late. And I kept saying to myself, "This is it, right? This is what the season has become. 2 twin close games. We're going to lose one. They're going to win one, and that's why they're going to be going to the postseason." So.
All right, so coming up next, let's clean up the playoff picture a little bit.
Do we have
go over the official standings? Yes.
Okay.
And stay tuned for that. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. There's 4 more games left in the season, including 3 at Wrigley North. That's the other thing. Cubs are losing to teams that don't fill their stadiums, man.
Yeah.
The Brewers might move. And they let them off the hook earlier this year. And this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Bad segue. Buying tickets to your favorite event shouldn't be stressful. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater near you. Cubs are like a comedy right now. With killer deals on last-minute tickets and their best price guarantee, you can stop stressing. Boy, stressing a big word around these parts right now over the tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. Remember the fun we had July 18th to September 6th? That was good. Snag the tickets without the stress. There's that word again with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed with Game Time. The Cubs play the Braves at 6:20 p.m. Central Thursday, and you can listen to every pitch with the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM. On the SXM app, search Cubs or tune into channel 844 and catch the Cubs all season long on SiriusXM. Phillies clinch the top spot, the wild card. Diamondbacks firmly in the second spot at this point. So it's down to the Marlins, Cubs, and Reds in that order for the final wild card spot. Cubs with 1 left with the Braves, 3 at the Brewers. Marlins 1 with the Mets, 3 at the Pirates. Reds are off Thursday, oddly enough, and then 3 at the Cardinals. When we get a chance during this convo, Sam, if we could see if Fangraphs updated, they've been pretty swift at the trigger.
I'd rather not. I'll do it. I want to just
probably in the 30s, I guess.
I just want to make some people laugh, man. Like I just look at this. Look at this one right here. We're playing meaningful ball right now. Stop whining. Would you rather be the Sox? Hey, Cubs Crusader, these last 2 nights have been 2 of the worst of the last 10 years. So I'm going to whine as much as possible. Matt, before I get into the playoff picture stuff, I just want to say this. I really don't subscribe to the Cubs overachieve this season. It's going to be really, who cares? Future's bright. They overachieved based on expectations that were given to them that were dumb. This was never going to be a 70 bad win team. Every single metric in the game has this as a 90-plus win team. I believe based on the
well, they should have 87 wins right now.
Based on the production they've gotten, they have underachieved. And anytime
Correct.
you have anytime, I don't care if they were supposed to win 40 games. Anytime you have a 4.5 game lead with a month to go in the postseason and you don't make it and you lose the way they've been losing, it's a failure. Okay? It's a failure. So let's not start handing out bronze. Let's not start handing out bronze medals here to everybody and participation trophies because they ended up playing. Yeah, this team is better than the Marlins, and they are better than the Reds, and they should be playing a playoff series. Maybe just one, but they should be, and it's not good enough that this has happened, okay? I will get you your Fangraphs odds. My guess is that they are in the low 30s. Maybe
my guess would be 32.
I'm going to say 27, and here is your final. Here's your final answer.
Well, then we can pack it up then.
I don't believe it's updated. It's not.
Oh, they didn't update it. I thought they would have it up by now.
It's not updated yet.
Okay.
What's the Cubs' record right now? 82-76.
Yeah.
So it hasn't updated the Marlins win. Once that, right as it currently stands, it updated the Cubs loss. The Cubs are at 40.7. I believe.
so they'll be in the high 20s. You're right.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high 20s situation.
High 20s, great.
With 4 to go.
Well, I don't even remember what I was going to say. This is taking a lot out of me here.
Well, I could keep talking if you want, because
this is just really poor. And it was that I do think there is an element of both things could be true.
Yeah.
In terms of, hey, the Cubs, that might be another moment for this, but correct me if I'm wrong.
Beard looks great.
I'm wrong.
Beard looks great.
If it could be possible that they're a year early, let's say.
Right.
But at the same time, they had an opportunity to do damage this fall.
Sure.
They should be at least +5 right now. +5.
No, they should be
5 more wins.
Well, they should be going into Milwaukee.
What's their expected wins right now?
Well, you can look that up. You got.
I will
for that.
And there's no hot seat to be had at Clark and Addison. 0.
No.
Ken Rosenthal put out a piece this morning, and Ross's name isn't even. It's not even like any type of a sentence. It's not even around.
Well, I got some good news for you.
Which is what? Alzolai's coming back Friday. Who cares? Cubs, Pythagorean win-loss, according to Baseball Reference, 88-69.
There's no good news.
That's 6 more wins than they have, Sam.
What's their Pythag?
88-69. So they're -6.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well,
all right, let's preview the series finale coming up next. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Oh boy. Fasten your seatbelt. The NFL season is underway with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use, and you can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. And this is where we're supposed to insert something about the Bears, who are by far the worst team in the NFL. It's not even close, player.
Let's just get to the Cubs stuff, man.
The Bears stink. FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with an offer you don't want to miss.
Oh, boy, that was funny.
FanDuel, the official partner of the Locked On Podcast Network and the NFL. Marcus Stroman against DVD on Thursday, and that's the show. So
wait.
We can take some chats.
Wait, can I say a couple things? I really don't understand the Stroman thing. If he gets pulled tomorrow one time through the order, why didn't they just use him as a reliever when that's desperately where they need the most help?
Oh, I said that many times, dude.
Yeah, that makes absolutely no sense. Yeah. I don't understand that. I don't. Is tomorrow's a 6:20 game?
Yeah, it's not even like at noon to help us out a bit.
And is the Marlins Mets game? What time's that? That's got to be a day game, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, who cares anymore?
Well, no. I'll tell you why.
No, I don't.
I'll tell you in a sec. Marlins.
I think it's a night game.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I was hoping that the Marlins Mets was in the afternoon. So if the Marlins win, it's just who even cares about that game at this point. I won't be watching tomorrow night. I think I'm going to go to my softball game.
Okay.
And I'll come home and do a solo show, and the background probably won't have anything in it, and it'll be a Cubs 2023 funeral. if they lose and the Marlins win. Sorry, if they're two out with 3 to go, or if they're 1 out with 3 to go, which is basically like they're 2 out. And you know what I mean.
If they're 1 out with 3 to go, it's over.
Yeah, because they're really 2 out. Let's make some people laugh before we get out of here. I think
we've already done that.
Nah, well, let me give a couple more here. Somebody here, hey. Jim, you're more than welcome. Let me tell you something. I know how to put the ball in play with a runner on third, less than 2 outs, unlike Mastroboni. Because
Mastro we're hitting over 400 coming into today.
Again, I don't care if he was Ted Williams. If he puts the ball in play there, the Cubs probably win this game. It's not about all the great stuff. You've got to deliver when it matters most.
You're right. Shout out to Jim. He's a loyal listener.
Yeah. This is my actual real life uncle. So shout out to him.
No
Uncle
way.
Brett. Yeah, shout out Uncle Brett in Vegas.
Thanks for tuning in, Uncle B.
Yeah, in Vegas.
All right, well that's gonna be it. 400 plus people with us.
This is one of the worst 48 hours I've ever had. So I hope everybody has a great night. And I'm going to try and eat my second meal of the day. And go from there. This is awesome. Just love this. So happy we get to do this.
Please smash the like button on the way out. Remember, you're not pressing like, for the result, which is just porous. It's to support us, so we really appreciate it. Thank you so much for checking out this edition of Locked On Cubs.
A lot of softball questions in the chat.
And that's good. That's good.
Yeah, we'll have plenty of time to talk about softball. It's going to be a long October.
Be sure to hit subscribe on YouTube and smash the like button for the algorithm. And I agree with some of the comments here about the show maybe going off the deep end tonight.
Tell us what you're going to be for Halloween. 312.
What's your favorite part of fall? 312.
Oh boy.
Catch us on Apple, Spotify, and streaming on Sirius XM. We're out of here. Sam Olber, Matt Cozy, Locked On Cubs.